illegal operations, and we're doing our best to contain them. Because yes, they directly affect our contribution to the universal health care. But rest assured, we are working because we don't have police powers, but we are using a lot of persuasion and legal moves to curtail the operations of the illegal weteng. Among them, yung bukis, merong peryahan ng bayan, no? The lot. Alam niyo naman sa Pilipinas, kahit basketball, tinatayaan eh. So there is a proliferation, and we are doing our best to have this prevented para naman yung legal the legal STL, which is paying their who are paying their taxes and in fact contributing to the coffers of the PhilHealth, can operate and proliferate.
Sir, on another issue, sabi niyo yung mga assistants, have you looked on this, yung mga medical assistance and financial assistance you have given? Mga ilan na po to? How much?
I don't have the figures now, but I will tell you they have been reduced dramatically because of the imposition of, for example, doc stamps. No, just for in context, prior to 2018 or 2019, our budget for charity is 9 billion. No? Now, our budget for the whole year is only 900 million. So it has dropped dramatically. It is now 1/10, including what we give. No, kaya yung tiran lang sa akin for charity is less than 1 billion.
Sir, may mga nagrereklamo, sir, sa mga online kasi they're asking for some medical assistance. Pwede silang, let's say, pumunta personal sa inyong office?
Yeah, they can email me because right now talagang dinidiscourage natin yung face-to-face, yung pila, and then they can complain. And yes, they have a lot of reason to complain because we used to give as high as 200,000, even 500,000 during the times na wala pa kaming taxes. Now, you'll be lucky to get 50,000, 20 to 50 yung maximum.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No more questions?
Relevant questions, please.
Topel Pelayo of DWI.
Sir, nabanggit po ninyo na 900 billion na lang po, million, yung fund na lang po for charity. Bakit po bumaba, sir, from 9 billion?
Well, as I've said, we have the taxes that weren't there before. No? Yung documentary stamps, VAT, no? We have the earmarking, malasakit, also the universal healthcare law, although they're the same, pareho naman ang ginagawa nila. Yung mga like National Book Development Board, things that have nothing to do with our mandate, naka-automatic earmarking po sa amin yun. May sports din. So, we're working on it though, para yung wala namang relationship po sa charity ay matanggal, no? Because ang laki ho na nawawala na sa amin for the taxes that we pay. So not only do we give charity, we also are a revenue generation for the government.
Okay, thank you. And now we will proceed to the handing over of the 2.5 billion check of PCAO to PhilHealth.
Sana may manalo ng ganito.
Tayo sa harap para kita.
Taas na lang? Hindi makita. Sige. Taas na lang. Sorry.
Pwede bang copy lang?
Okay. Thank you po, PCSO General Manager Mel Robles at sa ating pong PhilHealth spokesperson, Dr. Shirley Gigi Domingo. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now we will proceed to Press Secretary Trixie Angeles for some announcements. Secretary?
Yes po. Wala akong salamin. Magandang tanghali uli. Happy birthday kay boss. Bukas na. Okay. Naglabas po tayo today ng Executive Order number 3. Allowing voluntary wearing of face masks in outdoor settings and reiterating the continued implementation of minimum public health standards during the state of public health emergency relating to the COVID-19 pandemic. So ito na po yung ina-announce ng DOH ng voluntary wearing of face masks outdoors in non-crowded places, provided kung kayo ay immunocompromised, seniors, or hindi kumpleto ang bakuna, kailangan pa rin po mag-face mask or strongly encouraged ang face masks. Okay, basahin ko na lang po precisely yung provision. The voluntary wearing of face masks in open spaces and non-crowded outdoor areas with good ventilation is hereby allowed, provided that not fully vaccinated individuals, senior citizens, and immunocompromised individuals are highly encouraged to wear their masks, and physical distancing will be observed at all times. So meron pa rin tayong physical distancing. Face masks shall continue to be worn in indoor, private, or public establishments, including in public transportation, by land, air, or sea, and in outdoor settings where physical distancing cannot be maintained. Tuloy pa rin po ang other minimum public health standards intended to effectively prevent and minimize the spread of COVID-19 in the country. It shall continue to be implemented consistent with the principles of shared accountability, evidence-based decision-making, socio-economic equity, and rights-based approach. In this regard, the DOH is directed to update the MPHS guidelines with the issuance of this order. Okay. In addition to that, we're happy to announce that we are 6% away from the wall of immunity. That's why we're malakas na ang loob natin for face masks. Now, congruent to that as well, the state of calamity is extended for possibly 3 months, but only for the purpose of preserving the benefits under it, such as, but not limited to, the indemnification, hold on, para mas precise tayo. Okay, here we go. Indemnification, emergency procurement, special risk allowance for healthcare workers. We will transition out of the state of calamity after further review. Okay. So, good news all around. Okay, on the next topic, nagkaroon tayo ng cabinet meeting today. And we discussed primarily food security. We're identifying the factors that hinder our food security, and several agencies were there to report, among them the DOTR, NEDA, of course the Department of Agriculture, the DILG, and yeah, among others. So those that were identified for possible policy review and legislation are the barriers to efficient transportation, red tape, yung permit systems natin to make it more efficient, also the crossing of boundaries between LGUs. In addition to which, we're also looking at a review of policy and possible legislation to balance importation with local production, and to address the issues of over and underproduction. So all the departments made their reports today. There are quite many overlaps. So all departments will be working together on the policy review, assessment review, and proposals. Okay,
Questions? Maricela Lili, TV5.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am. Magandang hapon po. Ma'am, just a clarification on the face mask EO. When will it be implemented?
It's immediately. Hold on, let me just get you the precise term. This order shall take effect immediately upon its publication in the OG or newspaper of general circulation. Nasa OG na po siya.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what made the President approve the recommendation for the voluntary wearing of face mask?
He had imposed a condition, and one of that is the establishment of the wall of immunity. Since we are 6% away from that, then it's time. So we're doing this in stages, in phases, so that we also don't, so that we can have feedback on whether or not these new policies are working and how to make them more efficient, so that hopefully by the end of the year, we might be able to have, to be voluntarily masked indoors as well.
Last na lang po. Naging consideration din po ba yung burn months na kasi baka mamaya mas dumami yung mga taong nasa labas?
That's why we're doing this in stages. We'll need the feedback. If the voluntary masks outdoors is going to contribute to something, then of course the policy will again be reviewed. Right.
Questions? Go ahead. Ay, Mike.
Secretary, kasi merong conditions na sinet yung EO, there should be good ventilation. So,
Yes.
who will set the standards? Who determines what is a good ventilation? Meron bang mga ganong mga rules na isa-set?
We assume so because there is some discretion of the local governments to establish minimum standards for the imposition. However, in general, what does good ventilation mean? May opportunities, for instance, na crowded. So even if it is outdoors, hindi good ventilation yon, and you're in each other's faces. So without the possibility of social distancing, then this would be considered also as part of not of the requirement. Kasi yung requirement, there must be, it shouldn't be too crowded. So there are also instances now you would consider outdoors. What do we consider as outdoors? In some instances, you consider outdoors, okay lang roof, pero walang walls. Okay? In other instances, some people place the, like for example, under the no smoking law, in some instances, pagka sinabi mong outdoors, kailangan walang bubong. So it will be determined, normally things like these are determined by the local government kasi sila po ang enforcement in these instances.
So the local governments will play a key role in implementing this executive order, especially yung standards sa mga spaces na gano'n.
That's usually the case. Even in all of the laws or legislation that we created pursuant to COVID, it was always the local government that has set the standards, except for those benefits that were given by the national agencies.
Pero do you see the need for a unified standard? Kasi baka mamaya yung sa isang lugar,
I agree.
yung outdoor nila iba. So, do you
That's
think
why.
kailangan po ng national government na
Well,
mag-set
let's
sila
see
ng
how it
iisa?
works. Diba? That's the reason we're doing it in phases, so that we have a feedback mechanism. We continue to listen to the people, what the needs are, and particularly also to understand that local needs also differ. So we have to balance the creation of a uniform standard with the needs of the locals.
Salamat, Sec.
Thank you, Ace. Next, Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Ay ma'am, can we clarify dun sa EO? Kasi nabanggit po ni Yusek Vergere kanina doon sa Congress that they agreed to make masking to be optional only for those who are non-vulnerable.
That's what it says here. Who are vulnerable? Senior citizens, immunocompromised, those with no complete immunization.
So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, it's still mandatory for them to wear masks outdoors.
The executive order says highly encouraged. So it will be, well, that's what it says there. So I think we may have to work that out with the USEC.
Thank you po.
Eden.
Ma'am,
25.
regarding yun lang po dun sa UN General Assembly na dadaluhan ni PBBM this September, ano na po yung ginagawang paghahanda ng Pangulo regarding this? And syempre tomorrow ay birthday po niya. Meron bang plano ang ating Pangulo for his birthday?
I-announce po namin later on. With regard to the clip, there will be a special briefing for that one. Possibly, I think Thursday, no?
15th.
Before we leave. So, as for his birthday celebration, syempre mahirap mag-discuss.
Kahit yung meron bang party, ano special gathering po dito sa Malacanang?
I have no instructions to announce anything. Kayo naman. Minsan sensitive yung mga ganyan. No, wait, let's just clarify. Baka may mag-ano na naman sa akin. No, I have no information as to whether or not there's going to be a birthday celebration. However, we can safely assume that the president is going to mark it. That's the official statement. Going to mark it. Remember it. It's like, okay, when I have a birthday, yay, happy birthday to me. Sometimes we have, we have cake. Right? So how it's going to be celebrated will be a matter to announce at a later date.
Okay, Ana Felicia of GMA News Online.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Reaction lang po ng Palace regarding the call of Human Rights Watch for UNHRC member states to adopt a strong resolution kasi they express concern po na EJK still continue under the Marcos administration. Any comment lang po from Palace?
None. No comment, no reaction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Kat Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Ma'am, on the cabinet meeting, were there specific crops or kinds of meat or fish that the government will prioritize?
We're looking at food security in general. So of course, while there's certain certain crops that were discussed, such as but not limited to rice, we're looking at things that cross what kind of crops we're looking at. It's not just even crops. We talked about pork. We talked about fish, rice, vegetables in general. So there are several proposals, many of which we'll be happy to announce at a later date once we have all of the details. But the recognition of the problem is step one, as well as the proposals by our various cabinet officials regarding policy review and legislation. So these are what we're going to set, either if it's for legislation, priority legislation, and if we're going to look at policies that do not require legislation, we're going to do that immediately. We just need all of the various agencies just need to work out the standards between themselves.
Okay, last question from Dennis Hamito, Bombo Radio.
Hi, ma'am. May nakaschedule po ba na courtesy call yung si Miss Alex Iala after winning the US Open Youth kay President BBM? May coordination na po ba?
Wala pa po tayong information on that. She's not a resident. So we have to, if there was an opportunity, I'm sure the President would love to have her over. But let's see. We don't have any details or if she even has time. So let's find out first.
Okay.
Sec?
Sec follow-up lang daw.
Yes,
po
sir.
kay Ivan
Follow up
Merino.
po dun sa question ni Kat. May progress report po ba ang Cabinet Secretary specifically from the officials of the DA tungkol dun sa ilang mga bagay na ilang mga crops or products na may kakulangan tayo previously? Sugar, white onions, salt, for example. Meron po ba tayong are we making progress in those particular areas?
Well, the DA has never been remiss in bringing out the information. You really should check out their website. Tuloy-tuloy yung pagbibigay nila on those ongoing programs. Today's cabinet meeting was primarily to address the issues of the efficiency of our, for instance, transport of food, getting from the farm to the market, balancing our imports with local production, and so on. So in relation to very particular crops such as, but not limited to, sugar, these are already, we have constant updates from the DA. So we just need to check out their website. Magaling yung spokes nila.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Press Secretary Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles. Maraming salamat, malaki niyang press corps.
Gusto.